We thought it was going to be a close game, Guinea against the Democratic Republic of Congo, but it wasn't close. The Democratic Republic running away with it. We've just seen, well, let's say a bizarre game between Mozambique and Egypt, and it was quite obvious from the start that neither team wanted to win because they both wanted to avoid Mali. And the successful team in that effort was Mozambique. They lost the game deliberately, I have to say. Don't speculate. No, I don't think there's any speculation about it. Anyway, here we go with the Central African Republic being introduced to the crowd, and their opponents will be Angola. The Group A standings at the moment: Angola played 4-1-4, Mali played 4-1-3, Ivory Coast and Cameroon played 50% of their games, Tunisia played 4-1-1, and the Central African Republic scoreless, winless, not scoreless, but winless, and bottom of the group for certain. And we've just seen Mozambique against Egypt. That was the game to decide third and fourth place in Group B. So Angola, who, regardless of their result against the Central African Republic, know who they will play in the quarterfinals on Friday. They will play Mozambique. So Angola, they're in a strange position. They know that they have won Group A, even if they were to lose this game against the Central African Republic. That is, let's just say, highly unlikely, to say the least. So Coach Jaime Calves can afford to rest key players today, and I think he's going to do that. No need to take any risks. I've just spoken to Itali Lucas. An amazing 27 points yesterday in that fabulous win against the Ivory Coast, where they came back from 10 points down. There she is. I've just spoken to her, and she expects to get about 3 minutes today in a game where, as I've said, the coach won't take any risks. See our three referees before anything else. We'll all stand to respect the two national anthems. Wow, two stirring national anthems there. And this a Group A game, Angola against the Central African Republic. I'm Roy Birch, and with me is former Czech Republic national team guard Teresa Brantlova. Teresa, Angola should be extremely relaxed about this game.
Absolutely. Angola, they will probably step into this game as just giving a minutes to the bench players, because Coach Kovilha might need them in a later phase of this tournament. I don't expect, as you already mentioned, Italy Lucas will take too many minutes. It's going to be probably a few just to reintroduce herself, but the coach won't risk any injuries. Angola has a quite wider bench than Central African Republic team as well, so Coach Kovilha will have enough players still to manage this game comfortably to get the win. On the other hand, Central African Republic has had given us a quite impressive performance yesterday against home team Mali. There's been more people contributing offensively, helping the key player Kossi as well. So it should be easy game today.
Yeah, you mentioned that player number 8 for the Central African Republic, Abedi Kossi. She got a rare double-double the other day. Well, she probably gets a double-double fairly often, but what made up the double-double so unusual was the fact that it was double-figure scoring and also double-figure fouls drawn. So she creates havoc wherever she goes.
Absolutely. She just carries Central African Republic team on her back in all aspects of the game. It was quite positive to see her teammate in yesterday's game. Her teammate Coquito scored 13 points as well, support her that wise, and I'm pretty sure Angolan team is experienced enough and good enough to manage one or two players of Central African Republic.
Yes, in the absence of Italy Lucas on the court for too many minutes tonight, this afternoon rather, we'll probably be looking at a couple of other key players. Well, they're all key really, but in particular number 14, Anna Concalves, number 14. It was really Concalves who turned the game, along with Lucas against Mali, with a dynamic three-point shooting display. Together with her partner in crime in inverted commas, number 7, Whitney Miguel. Two big players, but big players height-wise who can shoot the threes as well. There's Italy Lucas on the right, and in the split screen you see Abedi Kossi. She came into this tournament not quite on a double-double from the qualification situation, 13 points a game and 8.5 rebounds. And as I said, it's a rare double-double, points scored and fouls drawn.
It will be interesting as well to see when Italy Lucas won't get as much minutes in this game. If Angolan team is going to stick to their game plan, the style of the game, would they play based on a high percentage of three-point shoots as well, or if they're going to push the ball more down in the rim, under the rim.
Yeah, again, I had a quick word with Italy Lucas. They know who they're going to play in the quarterfinals. It'll be Mozambique. After if she'd seen the game Mozambique against Egypt and what she thought of it, and possibly the last word on that situation now, because I'm sure a lot more will be spoken and a lot written about that situation, which I call bizarre, but there are other words to describe it. And Italy Lucas said that she thought it was a little bit disrespectful of those teams to try and lose, and that's a good way of putting it, and very diplomatic. And many people would use a lot worse terms than that. Anyway, final word on that for now. So here we go. There's Wilfried Mbongo, the coach of the Central African Republic. Remember, they were last at this stage of the competition back in 1974, the CAF, the Central African Republic. I'm sure this will be played in a good spirit. So it's Angola in red and the Central African Republic in white, and it is teaming white on defense immediately. And the first rebound, would you believe? The player we highlighted, that's Abedi Kossi.
I think Clarisse Mpaka now took away from Italy Lucas the first shot of the Angolan offense, as we've seen the games before. She always has started the game with a successful long range distance shot.
Well, I hope that's not indicative of the Central African Republic's approach. A shot and no rebounders. You're right, though. Lucas hasn't touched the ball yet. Gussie having to play point guard. Slow start for either team. And the first foul of the game. So Angola will go to the line, and in the form of Clarisse Mpaka. First foul, Estelle Jambole. Rebound eventually grabbed by the Central African Republic, Shakela Diribona. It's never easy at the beginning of a game when one team is in a different class to the other. Just how to treat the game. But if you go soft, then you put yourself in trouble. And they're the first field goal for Angola. Clarisse Mpaka. Yeah,
I was about to say we should never go soft beginning of the game, because it just never brings anything positive. It could cause injuries, it could set a bad tone of the game. You should always start a game very strong.
Good double team on the right angle trap of the halfway line and the sideline there. And here's Italy Lucas. First touch of the ball for her. That is a rarity indeed. Normally hits her first shot tonight. She didn't. Missing the first shot, but she got the first block from her team. Can only be described as a wretched turnover by the Central African Republic. No doubt we'll see a few more of those.
The Angolan team is not one of the best teams at this tournament with a quick transition offense, and anyway, Central African Republic team needs to manage their turnovers to avoid Angolan team have too many possessions offensively to outscore them.
Well, Lucas almost got a hand on an offensive rebound there.
Oh,
the first three-pointer of the game goes to the Central African Republic's number 11, Estelle Jambole.
We see a zone defense now from Central African Republic.
Jambole again. Remember, because of the position in Group A, Angola haven't lost a game, so they can actually afford to lose this now. I'm not being pessimistic under any circumstances, but that is a factor of the matter. Even if they lose this game, they still top the group because of any possible count back on points. Well, the rebound. Here's Lucas. You may have been right there, Teresa. They look to me as though they're treating it like three-point shooting practice, Angola.
Yeah, we know they're such a strong and the best three-point shooting team at this tournament, but you have to change the rhythm. You have to, especially when you're missing the first shot, you have to change the approach. You want to give touches to your bigs, you know, to make the defense work a bit different way than just for settling for three-point shots.
Well, Kossi just put the Central African Republic into the lead. And there's the foul. And that foul came about because of well, slow thinking and slow feet from Claudia Coquito. And immediately, Lucas goes out. Will we see her again before the quarterfinals? One can only speculate. Remember, she said she thought she'd get about 3 minutes. Well, not quite. Well, actually, sorry, my maths is awful. Just over 3 minutes she got. I don't know how many games Natalia Lucas has played where she's not scored. Well, she can't score from the bench. Well, good hands all round, and then eventually the Central African Republic seemed to concede possession, and they've given up the foul. At the second attempt, and there's the foul, little push. So score's tied at 5s.
I'm pretty sure now, while Natalia Lucas is on the bench, we will see a bit more action under the rim as well. Not that she would not create open position for her teammates down under the rim, but to be honest, her such strength is that long distance shots.
Angola have a lead, but it's the slightest lead, 6-5. Oh, was there a double dribble? Don't pick your dribble up if you don't have to. Trapped in the corner. Well, the Central African Republic making a fist of this game so far.
Yeah, I'm sure Felizardo George just has learned now that you can't just stay static on Kossi because she's going to punish it. You have to be bending on your knees and just cover the penetration and contest the shot.
At the moment, Angola can't buy a 3. But they buy a 2 and regain the lead. And that was Felicio Jorge. That's what's called forcing the offense. With block shots. Yeah, terrific recovery as well from Clarissa Mpaka. She blocked the shot and then chased the ball out of bounds and threw it back into court against an opponent. And for her pain, she takes a break. And coming in, Angola's number 10, Sonia Doniema. And Doniema, her first shot is a 3-pointer, and it's successful. That's how to make an impression coming off the bench. Hey, coach, I can shoot.
Yeah, it's good to give early touches to the players who's coming out of bench as well, because then you give them that moment to touch the ball, to feel the ball as well, and rhythm of the game. So it's very important to give early touches to bench players.
Well, number 10 for the Central African Republic goes out. Claudia Coquito with a look of profound disappointment on her face. Give me more court time, please, coach.
Oh, Whitney Miguel has been wide open in the middle of the court.
And the foul against number 14, Isabel Giel. A grab of the arm. And the immediate apology. Good to see. Although I think if it's going to be a tightly contested game, I'm not sure an apology would come, but William Packer back on the floor. This is the second, and that's possession, Central Africa. Some up the floor pressure from Angola. Well, half-hearted pressure anyway. Jambale dribbles into a trap.
Yeah, and Eusebio has been patient in that defensive stance. Did not tempt herself to reach the ball. Great defense.
This time, no problem with the three.
You always say great defense brings offense. You have a great individual defense. Come out on the offensive half court, hit that three straight away.
Yeah, Angola responding to the coach. They've upped tempo on defense. Trying to run at the Central African Republic. No three this time, though. And that's possession to the team in white.
It's good in transition offense to wait for trialers, as we've just seen, who's cutting throughout the middle of the paint. Most of the time they are open because the defense is not that fully focused on them. They're coming as a second wave offensively.
He's dribbling into the trap there. Angola dominant on the boards. And that'll be a backcourt violation. Eusebio apologizes for poor hands. And coach Jaime Cavilla wonders what went wrong there. So Mpaka goes out. And coming in, Costa Congals, number 14. So coach Cavilla, no starters on the floor now for Angola. Well, no one who started this game anyway. That'll be a hell ball. 3 against 1 there. And possession goes to the Central African Republic.
I think Costa is used to some contact already so far, because I think all of the teams are fully focusing on her, even though she's still able to contribute. But there has been loads of contact on her in this tournament. Eusebio come across to help and then just reached in at the last moment. And apologises to the coach. Gabriela Jigbale makes the first. So far been a pretty good performance from the Central African Republic. Not playing at the same level as Angola over the years, but only trailing by 6 relatively late in the first. That's a good entry pass, and that'll be I was about to say a hell ball as well, but this time the Central African Republic are the team that are outnumbering their opponents on the scramble. That was a deliberate pass. And here go Angola on the break. It would have been a fast break played to perfection had she been able to catch it. She initiated it, looked to finish it off, but couldn't take the ball with her. And Doniema. Well, the defense went AWOL then. Central African Republic is good enough to punish these quite big errors of Angolan defense. They haven't communicated now who's guarding who, and one of the key elements in defense that you have to speak.
You've got to say, Coach Kabila's less than impressed. He's going to call timeouts, layup for the Central African Republic, and I wouldn't like to be an Angolan player in that timeout now because he is annoyed. Jaime Kabila. 13-15. Angola, but only by 2. Here's the coach.
Outra coisa é não defendermos. Como defender? Só nem Luísa, vocês estão aqui as duas como jogadora. Alguém tem que ficar com essa jogadora, né? Não vou esperar mesmo que essa não seja daqui. Do nada está lá. Agora, vocês com duas. Uma com duas e outra. Quem vai defender? Zendola. Oh, deixa passar bem. Se ela está marcada, não passa a bola. Passas aqui, continuamos a jogar. Pá. Fizemos 3 turnovers seguidos, 3. Pá. Elas estão com 13 pontos. Pá. Estavam com 7. Nós tínhamos 15, elas estavam com 7. Elas foram para os 13 e nós continuamos nos 15. Por turnovers e mais defesa aqui.
Well, a few years ago, Teresa, the Angolan men had a coach named Mario Palmer, and during timeouts, I've never seen a coach as angry as Mario Palmer. Even if they were leading by 30 points, he would go ballistic. And boy, did his players respond.
I think Kavilha hasn't been that far from that right now, almost losing his voice from the intensity of his instructions to his players. He's definitely not happy with that transition defense of Angolan team right now. That's a gap to improve for them right now.
And here they are, suitably chastised. How are they going to react? Kabbalah. Well, they reacted, but still didn't score. It's normally her range from the arc. Kabbalah. And Calves, rather. An inspired Central African Republic here.
You can see the intensity has increased in defense for Angolan team.
Shot clock on 3. And there's the buzzer. But no stoppage. Possession had changed.
It's like just can't get. As we see the transition offense from Angolan team, I think they have to improve the spacing as well, because there's been a couple of situations when they run the transition offense, but 3 players has run behind each other, and in basketball it's such important you space up the floor, so you give the defense that direction to run to, instead of when 3 players running at the same time, they basically need just 1 defender to cover that side.
So at the end of the first quarter, the most surprising scoreline perhaps in this tournament so far, AfroBasket 2017 for women. It is Central African Republic 13 and Angola only 15. Well, the Central African Republic have no chance of making Spain 2018. Angola have a pretty good chance. Mind you, they've got to either win this competition or get the silver medal, which they failed to do 2 years ago. They came 4th. The dramatic collapse in the 3rd and 4th playoff. No score in the last quarter. I don't think I've ever seen a top-level basketball game when top-level team fails to score in any period, let alone the clutch 4th. I did actually commentate on that game. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe mine either, and I don't think there's a need to commentate on it, because it just has been a big disgrace to basketball, because to have 2 teams who doesn't want to grab a win, all people can make their own picture how the game probably looked like.
Well, Twitter has gone bananas about that game, Mozambique against Egypt. But here we are, Itali Lucas back in. She didn't expect that. Immediately Angola respond through Clarissa and Paca.
Yeah, I said at the beginning that I'm about to see, and I want to see how much the Angolan team is going to play without Itali Lucas, and we have witnessed that they have been a little bit struggling offensively and defensively as well, because Itali Lucas is such a leader to this team.
But it's a 1-point game. Central African Republic's number 10, Claudio Coquito, buries the 3. Miguel lost the ball almost and then regained it. Not many fans here in the arena at this stage of the game, but I suspect many of them are supporting the underdogs, the team that's got the ball at the moment, Central African Republic, who trail by 1. Ignore that scoreline. It is 16-17. The graphic is wrong. We'll try and put it right in a moment. Lucas into the corner. There's a player sitting on the backside appealing to the referee, but he's not going to stop it. And from the corner, it is Mpaka again. So 16-19 the score now. Good individual defense from an Angolan player. And that player is Alfonso, getting some court time from the bench. There's the shot clock.
That's what Angolan team needed. They needed is great defense, just to gain the confidence back for their offense. And I'm pretty sure we will see now some action offensively.
Well, Coach Covilla has sent a message to his bench: if you can't do better than that, I'll put the starters back in. And one of those starters is a certain Itali Lucas, who's just buried her first three-pointer. 22-16 now. Angola lead by 6. Good hands on the defense, and the layup. Well, that's very sloppy play by this Central African Republic's number 5, Nina Kumba. She gave the ball up and then just watched it. Pressure up the floor now from Angola. An angry Angola. They lead by 8.
I'm pretty sure they imagine a better start to this game than it was when the quarter has ended up just by 2 points.
Well, Central African Republic's first to the loose ball, and the foul by Whitney Miguel. And what's more, only 4 on the shot clock there. There's the foul all over the arms of the shooter. And Mpaka doing a good leadership situation there. She led the discussion in the huddle, as opposed to Lucas, who normally does so. First is good. On the foul line, Ketia Kalini. That's good boards. Terrific boards indeed by Gabriela Jugbalay.
She has grabbed 9 rebounds in yesterday's games against Mali. And she's just proving in today's performance that she's... No.
Mpaka again. Biggest lead of the game. It's a 9-point lead. Mpaka, of those 27 points, she's with over a third of them. Jugbalay tied up. Well, the 2-pointer there by Princess Mbaye-Ndak. Lucas does like that roll pass inside. Good boards from Miguel, and a little push in the back now. Will that be called unsportsmanlike? There was no attempt at the ball. She couldn't even see the ball. A foul by number 4, Ketia Kalini. There's the push. Subtle, not. Well, she's been given as an ordinary shooting foul. And Mpaka on the line again for her 12th point. Fails to get the 13th, but chased down there. Chased down by Jorge. And Mpaka, great footwork. And she's fouled again.
There's been another great individual action, stepping between the legs of the defender and just spin around her. There's been 4 Central African players, and she's still drawn that foul.
Well, I've said before now, leave or stay in your own footprints on the foul line. And she knows where her footprints are. I've been there several times.
And again, we see a full court pressure from Angolan team. Afonso has a bit forgot herself too down, too deep.
Boards. Well, she was hungrier than anyone else there. Gabriela Jugbalay.
And again, we see another such an impressive performance from the Central African team, considering that it's their first appearance in almost 5 decades in this big tournament.
No problem. For Goncalves. Good escape from the trap there. And they very nearly give it away.
We have so far 6 players from Central African team contributed on the scoring, which is more than we've seen so far this tournament, I would say, at this stage of the game.
Wholesale substitutions now by Coach Kabila of Angola. First time I think we've seen 5 for 5. May have been 4 for 4. I'm trying to see who stayed on. Oh, look at the hoop. And Louisa Thomas is fouled. She's on the foul line again.
No, she has intended to pass the ball, so I don't think a referee has. Yeah.
You're probably right, actually, Teresa. It didn't look like much of a shot. She's not left-handed, and it was with her non-dominant hand.
I actually think it shouldn't be rewarded by 2 free throws. Oh yeah, and now referees.
Well spotted.
They spotted that it has been a pass. It hasn't been any intention to take that hook shot.
Do you think it went through the referee's mind? She's not left-handed.
I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure referees are scouting as well, because they want to know what game are they going to officiate.
Central African Republic have possession. Still, they're only trailing by 7.
Now we see the pressure again, and I think Felizarda George should have been a bit quicker on that first pass. Unable for Central African Republic had that easy release.
Shot clock on 7. Oh, the foul. Little nudge there from Ndoniema.
There has been a great help side defense, and I don't know why Ndoniema just has put the hands on the player.
And again, it's just end line for the Central African Republic. What have they got in the form of an out-of-bounds play?
Yeah, we get back to communication, because her teammates are supposed to tell her, don't foul me here.
The player who just took that shot is staring at the referee in disbelief. Someone pushed it out of bounds.
Great trap.
Ndoniema tied up comprehensively. Jembalay.
Yeah, in this situation, she has to first give a look. She knows, she has to feel that there is 2 or 3 players coming to double her. She has to just give the ball quickly to an open teammate.
That's an offensive foul, yeah. She was being fronted, so she pushed the defender in the back. No malice in that, but it was, let's say, less than subtle. Despite the finger wagging from the coach, it was a foul. Good hands. Ndoniema, this is the 3. And grabs the loose ball.
It's been her second shot, too short, so she needs to make sure she goes a little bit. She extends a bit quicker on her feet.
Shot clock on 4. And that's a good hustle, eventually. It's a foul, and Angola not in the penalty. Well, some discontentment.
I think Felipe is telling her teammate Thomas, because she hasn't dropped down, so Felipe has been there on the help defense, but Louisa has been a bit slow and a bit lazy in that one step closer to a player who was cutting in.
Jongo, coach to Central African Republic, very pleased with what he's seeing at the moment. Surprised perhaps, very pleased nonetheless. Anyway, Estelle Jambalay there had to shoot and missed by a long way. Eusebio. Well, we've seen two teams using their benches considerably, this team Angola and Mali, and you might say neither bench has impressed.
Not at all. It's been obvious changes, the intensity of the game and as well in the organization of the game, the flow of the game when the bench players are on the court. That's not too promising for the other games later on when there comes to the knockout stage, but what is important that they get those feelings and they make that mistakes now when it's not as crucial time for the teams.
Timeout. 25-32. Angola lead with 2:32 to go in the first half. So the first timeout of the first half by Central African Republic coach Wilfried Jongo. Jambalay, leading scorer. I think that is number 11. There are two Jambalays in the team, Estelle and Gabriela.
Yeah, the board says it's a Gabriela.
It's number 12 then.
Yeah,
Well spotted.
it's a little bit confusing when you don't have those surnames in there. And they have a partner in the first name, so they have the same surname.
Not quite as animated as he was when he had to call a timeout. Well, he didn't have to. When he wanted to call a timeout earlier on, when his bench weren't playing very well. Jaime Cavilla, a lot more subdued and calm and resolute now. .232 to go in the first half. 32-25, Angola lead. And on the foul line, Louisa Thomas. First shot was very flat, one of the reasons it missed. Second shot, no problem. And some pressure up the floor. Don't dribble into that trap. That's very close. That's what the defense want you to do, dribble towards that right angle trap.
Exactly, you want to overplay that pressure, full good pressing through the middle of the court, where you have more options to create.
Well, the 2 points makes it a 6-point deficit for the Central African Republic. Almost inevitably, it's Abeti Kossi keeping them going. That's a lazy foul against a player who was penetrating but not really going anywhere. Perhaps that's what Coach Mbongo is saying. The foul, Ketia Kalani.
Yeah, she has been late on that first step already. When she opened up her position to just push her to the middle of the court, Felizarda George, and she has used that and it was too late.
Jorge on the foul line. Anguish on her face after missing the first. And the second just about got the dribble in. Ticking down to the last 2 minutes of the first half. Game's a lot closer than we thought it might be. It's not so close now. 27 plays 36.
Luisa Thomas has read great his pass on Kossi. She has been in a correct position.
8 seconds. Oh. Terrific defense in the front court from Angola. One of the Jambalays, number 11, Estelle, been tied up. Another foul. Angola on the foul line again. Is that cramp or embarrassment?
I think that hurt, to be honest, because Sonia Nundiema has taken this penetration with big aggression.
Princess Mbayan Diak, number 7 for Central African Republic. It was she who fouled. I have no idea if she is a real princess.
I doubt it, but we never know, right? We don't have this information.
And Donyema on the foul line. The lead is double figures. The lead is 11. Well, in most of the games so far, Angola have had a quiet first half. Remember, they were trailing by 15 against Mali. And they were trailing by 10 against the Ivory Coast last night. And in both games came back to recover. Okay, they're not trailing now, but they've not had the quickest of starts. Well, the referee said play on, even though the Central African Republic player dribbled it into the backcourt. We have an unsportsmanlike foul. Jambale again lost the ball and then just grabbed her opponent.
She just showed the frustration of the contact, of the aggressivity.
Looking around in amazement. It looks good. Yeah, and the teammate Ketia Kalini does the right thing and says, take a break. Take a break, Estelle.
Yeah, when you have emotions like this, it's always good when you have teammates who's just grabbing you away from that action, from those emotions, just to calm you down. And that's what Ketia Kalani has just done.
Anyway, the coach of Central African Republic, Wilfried Bongo, just called his second timeout. 1:24 to go in the first half, and Angola lead by 11.
Jogar poste-poste. Se a bola entrou alto, o poste corta. Se entra baixo, o alto corta. E depois aí sim, aí para o lado fraco.
By contrast, only one voice speaking, one man speaking in the Angola timeout. There's a bit of a committee thing in the Central African Republic stage. Still, Coach Covilla has the luxury of putting his bench players on for the majority of this first half. Leading scorer, she's not a bench player, and Mbaka, 14 points for the number 3.
I think Angolan bench players needed a wake-up call from Coach Covilla when he just returned Italy Lucas back on the court, because he just send them the message like, you don't want to play, you don't have to play. And since then, when there's been that second round of the substitution of 5 players, I'm seeing that the Angolan bench players are performing a bit better.
Well, the unsportsmanlike foul resulted in 2 shots, both of which were scored. Possession, they didn't score from it, but they did get the steal. Eusebio into that inside player, who has the relatively easy task of converting. 15 points the lead now. And a good shot block. That's an unintentional trip, so good no call from the official. Well, she's back on the floor, number 11, Estelle Jambale, having had a very short break. Well into the last minute of the first half. Oh my word, that is that's heavy contact. And I hope the player on the floor is okay, because that was not particularly pleasant. A foul committed by Abeti Kossi. More in frustration than anything else, I think. Estelle Jambale comes across to put her 2 pennyworth in. There we go. Bang! Kossi. Perhaps there was a little malice in there.
It's been like no intention really to go on the ball, and her hands were too high.
Kossi's saying, I didn't do it on purpose, or at least I think that's what she's saying, but on purpose or not, she may have done a little damage. More than a little bit of damage.
Hopefully there's no any fracture of the facial bones, because the hit were hard enough to crack for bone, so we'll see, but it's definitely not a good picture we'll be seeing.
Well, there's Kossi, the player who fouled, but the player who was fouled is in some trouble. And it's Felizardo de Conchukeo Jorge. She banged her head on the floor. There was a lot of contact, but I think most of the damage was done by the floor. And sportingly, Kossi says, hope you're okay, good luck. Quick recovery. Yeah, it's a forehead. So the referee is just discussing what happens next. They of course have the possibility of looking at the monitor, and the referee has waved something and said end-line ball.
I think it's 2 free throws.
It's 2 shots,
yeah. It's been the team of Central African Republic is in foul troubles right now. So.
And the substitute can come on and take both foul shots. The player is injured and unable to take the shots. So number 6 is out and number 5 is in, Afonso, and she makes both foul shots with 31 seconds remaining in the first half.
Again, now we see that full court pressure.
The lead is stretched to 17. Going to be an 8-second call again.
Almost.
It was very close. And this time it is the Central African Republic who go to the foul line.
And that's what we need to see from Kossi, that she just comes a bit higher for the ball when her teammates are dealing with that aggressive full court pressure.
Well, she gets enough practice from the foul line. And a very individualistic style from the foul line, 1 foot in front of the other, with a considerable gap. In the corner. Good passing from Angola. 28 plays 46. Perhaps the last score of the first half. It certainly is. As the buzzer sounds, 28-46 the scoreline. Angola in the ascendancy. Central African Republic 28, Angola 46 at half-time. Well, despite the fact the gap is 18, we look at Jorge, who banged her head on the floor after heavy contact. Is it an eye problem? I think it is. There's some eye. Oh, it's a bump on the forehead, I think. Let's have a look. Well, I hope she hasn't got a date tonight, because she might have a black eye. Anyway, they're the stats of the first half. Rebounds pretty even. In fact, the Central African Republic slightly in the ascendancy. Turnovers, though, they are in that as well, and that's a stat they won't like. Let's watch highlights of the first half. 14 points to number 3 for Angola, Clarissa Mpaka, leading scorer in the game. There's a 3-pointer from Italy Lucas. And the block shot as well from Lucas. Not too many minutes for Lucas today. She's not required to spend too much time on the floor, although she did come back on after a very angry timeout from coach Jaime Cavilla to reignite the situation. But at half-time it is the Central African Republic 28, Angola 46. Hello again from the Palais des Sports Salamatu Maiga. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go in this Group A game half-time interval. Angola 46, the Central African Republic 28. Something of a lackluster start to the game, but understandably so, because Angola have already qualified for the quarterfinals, undefeated. They were 4-0 coming into this game. If this continues, they'll go 5-0, and the Central African Republic will go winless. Angola know that they will play Mozambique in the quarterfinals, and that is largely because just prior to this game we saw Egypt beat Mozambique, and if I sound less than diplomatic, my sincere apologies, but it was a little bit farcical. No, I'll rephrase that. It was very farcical, because both teams trying to lose. The reason for that is because neither fancied their chances or fancied meeting Mali in the quarterfinals. But that's what Egypt will have to do, because they won. They actually treated the second half with a little bit more respect than their opponents. Repercussions of that yet to be seen. Anyway, the repercussions of this game are that Angola, with a comfortable lead, we expect them to go on and finish the job, and they will play Mozambique in the quarterfinals. So here's coach Jaime Cavilla with an 18-point lead. He did get a little bit angry in the first few minutes when he had his bench on, and they didn't play particularly well. They were only leading by 3 points when he called the timeout, but since then it's been nearly all Angola. Problems with games like this is with nothing on it as far as qualification is concerned, then you might be tempted to turn off, and that's exactly what happened to Feliciada Jorge. Well, no, sorry, she didn't turn off, but she got injured. And let's hope it's not serious. She did look as though she was a little bit dazed, number 6. She's got ice on her forehead. She banged her head on the floor. Let's hope she's okay. Anyway, Tali Lucas back in. The Angolan American, who had a wonderful game yesterday against the Ivory Coast, scoring 27 points. And turning that game around from a trailing by 10 to eventually win and stake their claim as the undisputed group winners. So here we go, in white, it's the Central African Republic against Angola. Roy Birch and Teresa Brantlova commentating, and let's hope for more spectacular play this half, Teresa.
Yeah, I expect again to see bench players in the court, mostly for Angolan team, just to give to the key players of this team some rest for a knockout stage. I've seen so far quite impressive performance from Central African Republic, considering that they haven't won any game yet, and they've been losing every game quite heavily. We see that there's not only one player in today's game for Central African Republic, as we've seen and experienced so far in this tournament, and that player was Kossi. So it will be interesting again to see how many minutes Italy Lucas will get for Angolan team, and how much the bench players are going to cope with the minutes they will receive.
Well, good boards, and on the second attempt, the conversion. So 29 plays 50. Sorry, 48. I just saw Feliciada Consuelo Jorge just holding her lip. She's got a problem with a chipped tooth or something like that. Perhaps it was an injury to the face.
Yeah, there's been a contact at the first possession of Central African Republic's offense when they doubled the center down by the baseline. She just got hit into her mouth, so she might have received some elbow and cut her mouth a bit.
So Jorge in the wars so far. And Central African Republic also in the wars, scoreline-wise. With a holding foul against number 4, Keita Kaleni. Whatever the standard of basketball you play, you should never allow such a simple pass from out of bounds like Vitaly Luka was just allowed to make. And he led to a good offense from Angola, and Whitney as well, the open shot. Kossi on the turnaround. Another player with a little head injury, perhaps Goncalves. Well, back to Goncalves, the twin towers of Angola.
A bit of football in the game.
Pinball wizard almost. Held ball, and the direction arrow pointing in the direction of Angola. That's a two-shot foul.
It's been a great attack for Afonso. She taken because she spotted that open middle of the pane, and the defense has been in a stance that they were just pushing her to the middle and told her take that penetration. Basically, as a defensive player, you want to close that middle to force the player to sideline.
Well, if the Central African Republic do look at videos of their games afterwards to identifying mistakes, then one mistake they made there that allowed the two, or created the two foul shots, is the first movement on defense was with the arms and not the feet. Don't just lean in and reach, move your feet first.
And Clarice Mpaka is performing such impressively in today's game. She's right now on 16 points, the only player in the double figures so far. And also in defense, she's quite an element for Angolan team.
Nice ball movement there from Angola. Jorge buries the three. Lucas quite content to spray the ball around from the point, and they get possession as well. Or do they? Well, they got it and lost it. And the easiest two of the game so far for the Central African Republic. Possession to Angola. A thoughtful coach, Jaime Cabela. There's Lucas. And the three-pointer from Lucas. Well, Mpaka tried to set the trap, but again she just reached. Teammate Lucas saw the funny side of it. That's too easy for the Central African Republic. Coach Kabila may have a word about that.
It's quite interesting to see because the Angolan team puts the pressure in their backward back. They don't really pass the ball in the offensive half of Central African Republic's team.
Another held ball, this time possession goes to the Central African Republic. Oh, spectacular play from Kossi. On the turnaround, just in case it missed, she followed up for the rebound, but dropped in off the glass. Mpaka. Goncalves can't buy a three today. Neither can Lucas in the second half. It's a 23-point lead for Angola. But a very creditable performance from the Central African Republic. Kossi goes inside. And that is Central African Republic possession. Wholesale substitutions again. 5 on, 5 off. This time no problem. No one's left on the floor. And 5 subs come in. You're right, Teresa. No sign today of Rosa Maria Luisa Gala, number 2. She's a key player for Angola. Good hustle there from Ndoniema.
Yeah, there's been a bit ankle injury in her leg in yesterday's game when they played Ivory Coast. And I think Coach Goviho just doesn't want to risk any further injury of her. And it will give her an extra 2 days recovery and be ready for that knockout stage.
Yeah, of course, all the teams got a break tomorrow between the initial round robin group stage and then the knockout stage. That's good no foul defense from the lady on the ball at the moment. She's determined not to foul, and she gets a foul drawn at the other end in her favor. Good offense there from Ndoniema. Good change of hands. Making sure the foul is a shooting foul. There's an injured player, and that injured player is Ricana Felipe. So just what Angola didn't need for the knockout stages. A couple of players loaded up with injuries. She looks in a little bit of pain. Not excruciating pain, let's say.
Yeah, it's such a crucial day for all teams because it's their 5th game in 6 days at this championship, and that's quite a big amount of games in a short time. All players must be fully concentrated and really trying to think about their body every second of the game on the court, otherwise it will just lead into injuries.
2 from 2 from Ndoniema. Some pressure from Angola. Well, that was 7 seconds to get the ball over the halfway line. And the block shot from Ndoniema. An open shot for Concalves, and this time no problem.
She had her feet set, balanced, no reason to miss this shot for the shooter like Concalves is.
Yeah, Angola making sure that the Central African Republic have little time in the front court.
Yeah, I would say Angolan team now is a bit satisfied, I would say, with that margin on the score, and just forget that if you give a space to Central African Republic's team, they're gonna over-rebound you in this game. So you want to still just be focused even on that rebound.
The long 2-point attempt is off. Kossi. Well, the Central African Republic came here minus a couple of players, but you have to say, if Kossi hadn't turned up, then they would have had, well, they've had problems anyway, but their problems would have been enormous.
Yeah,
she's the mainstay of their team.
Yeah, it's been a great play from Gabriela. Good ball out again. She has got off that double and finished the layup.
The 3-pointer again. No sign of that injury from Jorge. That's good defense as well. Oh, no idea how that pass got there. Kossi put through, well, just inside the arc for a long 2.
If you're gonna start play defense when the player receives the ball, that's too late in basketball. You have to start to play her a bit earlier than she receives the ball to just get her out of her rhythm.
Ndoniema to Eusebio. Jorge. Another rebound, another reset. Well, it's almost like three-point shooting practice for Angola. Doniema, at last they hit. I think that was their 4th attempt. And eventually they hit, and it's a 20. So it's a 30-point lead. 39 plays 69. And coach of Central African Republic, Wilfred Bongo, has seen enough. Remember, they lost very, very heavily in their previous 4 games. Unlike some of the other lesser teams or lower ranked teams in this tournament, the Central African Republic have been battered every game. Yeah, they're foul trouble. Not only are they being battered, but they're in foul trouble as well. Well, we understand there will be playoffs for the lower positions. 11-12, 9-10. And one assumes that the Central African Republic will be battling for the 11th spot against the likes of Guinea. As we look at the top scorers, Paka, number 3 for Angola, at 14 points in the first half, just 2 in the second. Well, I was about to say that Angola have kept their bench players on, but Conkel's there, number 14. I don't regard her as a bench player.
No, I don't either, because she has been a quite key element in the previous games for Angolan team, and it's probably the reason why she's on the court now is probably just to give that long-distance shot threat for Angolan team.
Kossi saying to a teammate there was no need to give that ball away, just play it safe. Conkel playing inside now. Kossi got that rebound and no one was going to take it off her. There's a lot of determination in that rebound.
It's been a second time Angolan defense has capped Central African Republic on a 7-second backcourt.
Kossi under all kinds of pressure. The problem was there was no teammate available. She had to try and throw it against an opponent's feet. And that opponent was alive to that possibility. Possession to Angola.
I think she likes better when her teammates are bringing the ball, and she's just the player who cuts into the open space and receives the ball. Like that, she just get rid of that big pressure in offense.
Doniema is fouled unceremoniously. Well, number 10 is listed in the official program as Sonia Sebastio Doniema. And Guadalupe is part of her full name. Anyway, she makes the first. It's the 70th point for Angola. With just over a minute and a half to go in the third. Kossi got the rebound and then lost it. And Doniema for 3.
It's been a great screen from Luisa Thomas, just keeping her defense on her back and allow her to go contest that shot. Great work from a teammate of Doniema.
A lot of second and third possessions leading to scores for Angola. That's something the Central African Republic have to learn about and deny their opponents. Well, easy 2 there for Central African Republic's number 7, Princess Mbaindak. Now they've got to get any defensive rebound that comes their way well into the last minute of this third quarter. That's an unsportsmanlike foul. The cutting player was just being, for want of a better expression, manhandled. Just like the look of astonishment on the face of Wilfried Mongo. Well, it was a reach and there was a reasonable attempt for the ball. But I suspect it was shirt pulling. Yeah, that's what the coach thought as well. So 2 shots and possession. And Donyema. Apologies, it's Thomas. Luisa Makuto Thomas. Polite request there from Estelle Jambalay as to what the call was. Was it a technical or was it unsportsmanlike? The 1 shot in possession indicates it was a tech. I didn't see a T go up.
Sure, I did not see the gesticulation as an unsportsman foul.
Nice pass, and the left-handed shot misses, and of course, it's Gussie getting the rebound. She's a firebrand. Gussie, quality player. There she is off the glass, no good. And that will be another held ball. I make that about 7 or 8 held balls that Gussie's been involved in.
Yeah, there's been a bit rushed layup from Gussie right now because she was wide open. Defense hasn't stepped high enough to cover that layup, so she should have just focused a bit more on that penetration and lays it up. Impressive performance again from Central African Republic's teammates on the board. They have grabbed another offensive rebound.
4 seconds. Shot's got to go up. Well, it went up, but it was blocked, and there's the buzzer for the 3rd quarter. 41 plays 76. Angola in complete control, as one would expect for the winners of this group, against the bottom of the group. Those positions cannot change. It's all about going to Spain. Well, back in 2011, the African Women's Championship was all about qualifications for the London Olympics, and Angola made it. Will they make it to the 2018 Women's Basketball World Cup run by FIBA? 2 teams from this competition will go. Angola hoping to be one of them, but then again, a lot of other good teams hoping as well, namely Mali, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Nigeria, Cameroon, Egypt, Mozambique. Outside chances for those teams. Would love one of those 2 spots in Spain next year. A few commentators would like to join them.
Absolutely. Spain is such a beautiful country with a long history of basketball and high level of basketball as well. That would be definitely the best we can see out of the whole world.
Watching highlights of the 3rd quarter, and now at the beginning of the 4th quarter, Italy Lucas back in for Angola with a team leading 76-41 against the Central African Republic. Pick and roll, and the pass evades number 15, Felipe.
It's a shame that Felipe has slowed down that rolling down, because she has been in a great position. She had her defense on her back, and Italy Lucas a bit thought that she's going to be quicker for that pass.
Lovely move from Kossi. Spin dribble, steps inside, draws the foul.
I just don't understand why there's no one on the split line to help this spin into the middle of the court. All the defensive players from Angola has been stuck on their players, but this is a team defense. They need to be on the split line to enable this middle spin.
I'd say that was all about experience. The lady on the line draws so many fouls. And she's converted both foul shots. I've often said to younger players, if you can't shoot foul shots, you're going to end up black and blue in this game. So learn to shoot from the foul line. Or even the three-point line for Itali Lucas.
No surprise to me. The first look when Itali Lucas gets the ball on the three-point line is to the rim. She's just having a great percentage from that line. She's been shooting now 3 out of 5 attempts at this game.
Inexperience there from the Central African Republic centre. Nice little turnaround, but there was no angle on the shot, and she still shot. Felipe. Shooter rebounded her own shot. Here's Lucas for 3.
Oh.
That's by a long way.
That would be a shot clock violation. The ball hasn't hit the rim. This last 2 attempts to score.
Well, even late in the shot clock, you would expect Itali Lucas to at least hit something, wouldn't you? But no, just hit the backboard. Angola again on the break.
It's a 2-on-2 situation with the trialers coming in. Great play. Felipe has recognized that her defense is behind her back and she has been left isolated.
Again, no foot movement from the defense. And the reach in draws the foul. I'll try this name. Gianna Dula Makana Felipe misses the first. But not the second. 80 points to Angola. Kossi is having to expend an awful lot of energy playing just about every position for the Central African Republic. There she is inside. And a nice soft shot as well.
Yeah, great cut from weak side, using the turn of hat of Itali Lucas when she just followed the ball movement instead of her player.
Well, Angola are one of the few teams that if a three-point shot goes up very early in the 24 seconds, there's always guaranteed to be a rebounder there. They expect a shot at any particular time. Seen some lesser teams here shoot early in the shot clock and nobody's even thought about a rebound. And Pekka to inbound. Pekka for 3. Got the rebound and the steal. Good hands. Good hands from, inevitably, Kossi. That's another wretched turnover. Can't think of too many better words to describe that. If a team loses the ball and it's a result of good hustling from their opponents, then it's forgivable. But if you just give the ball away with carefree abandon, then the coach has every right to be annoyed, if not angry.
Absolutely, that just shows that they don't protect the ball enough, they don't secure that ball enough, and they're losing it and giving just the chances to Angola again to take another possession and succeed.
Somewhat forced shot there from Eusebio, but it went in anyway. Kossi. Don't think she's had a break yet, Kossi. I think she's been on every minute of this game. And has she drawn another foul? You bet she has.
I think that Angola has dropped their aggressivity level again in defense, because they've been really good when they have put out the pressure on Central African players and play the players before they receive the ball. Now they seem to be again waiting for the Central African Republic's players. What are they going to do? You have to start to play defense a bit before your player receives the ball.
Some players have a reputation for being something of a foul magnet, and there's one of them. Betty Kossi. More times than the proverbial hot dinner that some people would like to have. A little bit of spirit being shown here by the Central African Republic. Oh, that is just ridiculously easy. My goodness me.
That's what you said earlier, that it's just too easy for Angolan team to take the ball out of bounds, because there's no defense at all in the first pass.
What are you trying to do on defense? Well, you're trying to make your opponents make a mistake. And there was no effort to make Angola make a mistake there. And the foul on the halfway line is by Estelle Jambale.
It's been quite a good tactical foul by Estelle, because she has stopped that quick break of Angolan team. And she knows that her team is not in a foul troubles yet, so very tactical foul.
Lucas to the high post of Miguel. Again, ridiculously easy. Lovely pass from Miguel. And Eusebio with foray into the interior for her, and an easy score. Jambale somehow finds a teammate, and that teammate is fouled, and she'll go to the foul line as well. And back at the foul. At least Mbaka tried to move her feet though. I have no idea what she's signalling there. Someone pulled my shirt perhaps. So on the foul line for the Central African Republic, it's Gabriela Jugblay. Again. Gabriela misses the second. Gets her own rebound and then gets her shot blocked. And then she fouls.
How can the player, after their foul shot, take their own rebound? That again shows me that Angolan team is not fully concentrated, because they're overloaded straight away on the rebound position when they have 3 players on the rebound against 2 of Central African players.
Yeah, the rule is that the players down the lane can enter the restricted area as soon as the ball leaves the shooter's hand. The shooter can't rebound it until it hits the rim. So you're right, Teresa. A foul shooter should never be allowed to get her own rebound. Wholesale substitutions again for Angola. So the player on the foul line is going to stay on. That's Felipe, and someone I would suspect is waiting to replace her if she puts the second foul shot in.
Yeah, you're right. And Ana Concalves is waiting. If Diendua Felipe will put the second shot in.
So that gives her a break. Concalves coming back in. Hit one shot from the corner, Concalves. It's a low percentage, unlike her. Again, Kossi receives the pass. Just about halfway through this 4th and final period. Concalves. Sorry, it's not Concalves who fouled. It is Afonso, and she's put the foul magnet on the foul line.
I think Kossi must be the most fouled player
in history, perhaps.
It's true, at least at this tournament, really. As a player, everyone fouls. It's an incredible athleticism he has, and also the basketball IQ, because if she wouldn't have a basketball IQ, she wouldn't be able to play against 5 players every time on the court and still contribute and perform.
There are players who seem to attract fouls. Years and years and years ago in the men's game, there was a guy called Nick Gallis who was made a living out of foul shots. Juan Carlos Navarro, Barcelona, he too. Diana Taurasi in the women's game spends a lot of time on the foul line, and so too does Betty Kossi.
Yeah, but all those players are very smart players. They're using their brain. They exactly know when to draw a foul with the movement. They read their defense as well, and they know there has been a mistake from the defensive player, and they're able to use it.
Good boards. This time from Central African Republic's Gabriela Jugbelay. Here's Estelle Jugbelay. That was a rather weary pass there from Kossi. Perhaps she is tired, not having had a sub yet. Anyway. Gabriela. And the rebound is Concalves. The hesitation dribble from Eusebio. Oh, that's criminal. Allowing a player to bounce the ball, look at the hoop, perhaps wipe it free of sweat, and then drop a three-pointer in.
I would say almost 10 seconds she had to set her feet, bounce the ball, even counter 3, and then take a shot.
No matter what the circumstances, Coach Wilfried Biongo of the Central African Republic should really lay into his players now for allowing a player to take that shot, to take so much time. And as she had so much time, it was all string. Well, late in the game, perhaps now's not the time for a little chastisement. And Kossi having her input as well. 51 plays 91. We're talking about an expression earlier on, Teresa, an English expression, taking the mickey, and that's really... No apologies, but that's what Concalves was doing there. She caught the ball wide open in the corner, looked at the ball, bounced it, wiped it free, and then shot the 3.
Yeah.
Taking the mickey.
I would not be surprised if she took even 2 dribbles. Just, you know, have a coffee in that corner before someone comes to contest the shot.
Estelle Jugbelay there. You can't fault her for effort. Puts herself around. Well, that should have been a backcourt, but still, never mind. And she is the girl she's talking about. And the rebound is by Thomas. No wiping free of the ball this time. And no three-pointer either. The rebound. Kossi.
Now everyone has to press the ball and press their players. When the player picks up their dribble, the other 4 on the court has to straight away find their players and aggressively play man-to-man to enable that pass to go from the player who's just holding the ball.
And guess who's on the foul line again? Well, she must get a large percentage of her points every game from free throws. Under 3 to go in this 3rd game of the 5th day of group games here in Mali. Bamako, FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. Oh, nice spin move, nice turnaround move.
Again, no one on the split line for Hope. I really see it a lot at this tournament that loads of teams forget to be in that split line. Just makes it so much easier for a defender to go for help, to be already on halfway their movement.
Kossi is fouled for the 100,000th time in her career, I suspect. Of course, basketball commentators are prone to exaggerate slightly. Well, she was slightly off balance when she took that, and she acknowledges it.
Yeah, but her style, when you look at her feet, she has both feet wide behind each other. That kind of shows that she's a bit off balance straight away when she's shooting her free throws.
Yeah, on the first free throw, she was actually shooting off one leg. Second one, she rectified the problem. Kells tied up somewhat. Donyema. Let's call that an uncompromising foul from Kossi. Well, she definitely enjoys her basketball. And why not? A star player from the Central African Republic. You never know. Have they had a couple of other players that they had in the qualifiers? May have made a difference. They're missing Alexandria Cotta. Averaged 15.5 points a game in the qualifiers. They've got a couple of sisters in the game. They've got a couple of sisters not here. It's always good to know what your teammates are doing. A little bit of telepathy, perhaps. Here's Kossi. Under 2 minutes to go. It's a 39-point margin. That's a shot clock violation. I think Angola were determined not to foul there. Getting fed up with seeing Kossi on the foul line, perhaps. Eusebio. Concalves again, so much time, and the same results.
You know what, I just wonder why they always leave Concalves completely uncovered in there in terms of her shot. Really, again, if she would have really taken that Mickey, what you just said before, she would have again had that dribble 1-2, set her feet and just take the shot.
Well, she was so open, perhaps she was embarrassed. Nice drive along the baseline. Taking out towards the last minute. And that was Claudia Coquito. And there's an open three which missed by a long way. Goes Estelle, Jambalay. And the rebound by Eusebio, well into the last minute. Goncalves, not this time. Now there's a rebound there and a foul on the rebound. Somewhat weary looking Goncalves there. Anna Goncalves. Not been on the court an awful long time. And I think Coach Jaime Calvilla, they're not that impressed. But you look at the scoreline and say, okay, 40 points, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think he wasn't impressed with that shot because even though Concalves has made those two shots before, there's been some trialers coming down. And if she would have just given a look to her teammates, that could have been an easier basket than that.
Differential of about 12 seconds between game and shot clock at the end of the third. Here's Kossi. Well, even with a man in her face, she still scores. 15 seconds. Here's Eusebio. Are they going to take another shot or just dribble timeouts? Yeah, they're just going to dribble it out. That's good. That's good. No need to embarrass your opponents any further. So 58 to the Central African Republic, 96 to Angola. So Angola's record, played 5, won them all. Central African Republic played 5, lost them all.
It has been a tough game for Central African Republic, but they have shown us another impressive performance. Angolan team, pretty much as expected, has used their bench to compete in this game, to spread out the minutes across the roster. I think Italy Lucas has been given a bit more minutes than she expected before this game, but you know, they have grabbed this win without any injury, so pretty much good win, secure win for Angolan team as well. And Central African Republic's players now thanking everyone who has watched this game today.
So congratulations to Angola. They've beaten the Central African Republic 96-58. Handshakes all around, high fives all around. And a quick word as well for the 3 referees. Didn't notice them at all, and that's always good. So we get a day off tomorrow. The teams will have a well-deserved rest and now come back fighting for the medal situation, the spots going to Spain on Friday. Here are the stats. Angola amazingly only won the rebounds by 1. Turnovers though, look at that. Twice as many, more than twice as many turnovers by the Central African Republic. And leading scorers, leading just about everything statistic there.